earlier this year when the Pan-African Parliament was sitting somewhere in Johannesburg, which ended, with people threatening others and what have you. And then that sort of demotes culture into some other things. There seems to be misunderstanding, about what should be uniting us, the African culture. So hence, my suggestion that perhaps maybe we should forget about French language and then forget about English language, and then perhaps find each other through Swahili language, in this single continent of ours.
Thank you very much, Prof. Mbali. That is the attitude and the nature of Africa that we want. It's unfortunate that this is happening now that we are we need to unite more than ever before, because now we see a lot of things that is happening. US is coming back, with proposals, to also work with Africa. UK is coming back. Everyone, want to have a piece of Africa. And this is the time for us as Africa to unite. If we look at some countries in Africa, they are so small, and we want to negotiate trade with China. The population of China alone, and it is really funny if we cannot really agree, on the issue of language. I mean, are we still colonized? Why do we have to hold on to French language or hold on to English language? Why can't we look up something? We talk of decolonization, and it starts from language. If we cannot have a unified language, it's really very sad. And I think our leaders, really have to come to the fore in this particular discourse, sit at the table and agree among themselves. They are supposed to lead us, in not to divide us. If you want to hold on to a particular language, what about the territory? Also, you want to hold on to those territory. How is our free trade agreement going to survive? And this was proposed, is going to 2 years now. Nothing has taken place, and there's a lot. The agreement was signed, and we still have the borders. How are we going to have a free trade? So I think we must not. We must take this thing very seriously. Our leaders should be able to come forward and be able to speak out their mind in the interest of the whole of Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Obadiah, for those comments. And thank you, Professor, for your contribution. The language, the question of preferred language is a debate that will continue. But I know that as time goes on, perhaps a solution will be found on the common language. Now, here we have a contribution from Madam Mbali Mkize. Please, Mbali, can you go ahead?
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Obadiah, and also thanks, Prof. Davis. Really appreciated your presentation, very insightful. Doctor, I wanted to find out whether your office is also expected to fundraise internationally, or whether that is done by a different office. That's my first question. And then the follow-up question to that would be, do you subscribe to any fundraising organizations or funders actually funding organizations? Thank you.
Thank you. Can I go ahead through you, Professor Davis? Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the question. It's unfortunate that we have that particular activity being done by the advancement section of the university. But nevertheless, we, as a support unit, we support all the activities, including fundraising, including meeting with donor organizations, especially those who are international, and also we support anything that can bring third stream income generation to the university, especially with our partnerships. When we partner with European Union on Erasmus Plus, our focus is to be able to write a grant proposal that will be funded. A proposal that will be funded, we definitely generate third stream income to the university, which is something that we really contribute a lot in that area. We are partnering. Our office, international relations and partnership, is collaborating with several universities on about 4 or 5 Erasmus Plus projects, which are funded. Some of them to the tune of €1 million. And this has also increased. The third stream income generation of the university. And this is an interesting aspect because if the researchers also, they need money to be able to do, and the university also need to invest in that area more. But the funds are not there. So definitely the funding organization are the one providing solution in this aspect. And that is why we see it as a very interesting task. So as international office, we look for those funding organizations, agents, like NIH, the US, and some of our colleagues are fortunate to get some of these grants, which are also contributing to the third stream income generation. So there we also have research professors, which their focus is to look for funding, especially for research activities, and that will also contribute. So we support the research professors as an office, to be able to make sure that they are also be able to succeed in their mandates. And our profile is also being increased as an international office for our participation in this activity. So we have quite a number of agencies, that we have contact with, those in US. There is a black black organization, I can't remember the full name, that supports black students, up to university level. And those are organizations that have millions, and some of them, are not being approached because, there are quite a number of those similar organizations in US. So, they are looking towards Africa, to be able to see if they can sponsor, use some of the funds that they are having. And I believe through AAU, Association of African Universities, we can be able to get some of these contacts, from AAU. We can be AISA also. We're able to know some of these International Education Association of South Africa. Or these funding organization can help us a lot, to be able to generate third stream income to the university. Thank you very much. I hope I'm able to answer the questions satisfactorily. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Obade and Madam Nkize, for raising those points. Yes, the question of funding to implement these good proposals. It's always a problem. But then we have heard from several speakers earlier on in the session how we can take advantage of the fact that we have the expertise for writing excellent proposals, as well as the fact that we are a disadvantaged institution, to channel our proposals to these bodies. We have mentioned the African Development Bank, we have mentioned the United Nations, and so UNESCO, and so many other funding agencies. I think we are standing at a very good portal in terms of funding requests for these international programs. So thank you very much. If there are no other questions, I just want to thank Dr. Obadire again. We are pretty fortunate to have Dr. Obadire, who has headed the International Relations Office in University of Venda for some time now. That university stands at a very good position in terms of internationalization, having had their office, I think, since the early 2000s. I was with University of Venda from 2009 when we had, was it Dr. Hagenmeyer as the head of that office. And at my time, they were already doing an excellent job. And this job has been also strengthened by the presence of Dr. Obadire, who, as I mentioned earlier, is doing an excellent work with internationalization, especially in the area of putting together data on student mobility, staff exchanges, and also in soliciting support from international organizations. So we thank Dr. Obadire once again, and if we can give him a big hand. In terms of setting up an international office, I just want to remark that this afternoon, I see on my program at 14:30, there will be a session on setting up of an international office, which is something very, very important for MUT now, because this will be the culmination of the proceedings of this inaugural meeting. We are also fortunate to have, I don't know whether that colleague will be online, Eloise Emdon, who is research facilitator of international projects at Carleton University in Canada. I mean, this personality, this colleague has such an abundance of experience in the internationalization process. And so I will implore all of us to be patient and come to that session so that we go through the steps. I think the contribution of all colleagues will be vital to the success of this proposal of starting an international office at MUT. So with that, I think we can now go for break, unless the facilitator of the next session wants to make some announcements.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof. Davis, for that. Thank you to our speaker, Dr. Segun Obadire. That was amazing. That was amazing and very informative to so many of our colleagues. Thank you so much to all of you for joining in, for listening, for participating. Thank you to our honored guests, our colleagues from the Namibia Institute of Technology, and Dr. John Samuel, who is joining us from the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. We do hope, as Professor Davis said, that you will stay with us and join again at 2:30. Thank you, colleagues. See you at 2:30 as we continue to break bread in this journey of internationalization. Thank you.
Thank you.